Price continues to trade within that near-term range that we've been watching for the better part of 3 weeks now. Zooming out on the 30-minute chart, what you can see here is that just sideways, right? Just sideways. If we were to look at this and do any type of trend analysis, we would just see, all right, price is trading within a sideways range. We have a clear area of supply up here into the 4580 zone. Down here, definite area of demand, area of support down here into the 4545, 4550 area. Now, coming into the session today, the main watch was how price traded versus that prior day low. That was going to be the primary reference point. You can see most of the overnight action, most of the pre-market session, price spent below VWAP. One of the things I highlighted this morning in the pre-market prep live stream was the fact that there was a series of lower highs here starting from Friday into yesterday and then following suit in pre-market. So what I had mentioned was we needed to see this structure change, and then we could likely see some type of momentum move higher, maybe a break of the 4580 level and potentially a test of the 4600 again. Now, price did actually show that change in character. It did break the downtrend, the very, very short-term downtrend here, but was unable to show acceptance above 4580. So what that tells us is there's still a bunch of supply up in this resistance zone in that 4580 and above zone. So we want to see action. If we're bullish here, we want to see action above 4580 that holds. You want to see a structure that holds up here and then price resolve higher from that structure. We thought we had that on Friday, Sunday evening into Monday morning. You see sellers really put the pressure on those Friday chasers. There was a ton of volume done in this structure on Friday, and we end up testing support. Now, price just continuing to oscillate within that near-term range. And so as far as tomorrow, we're just going to be looking at the range trade to continue likely into Friday's NFP. I suspect that Friday's NFP, that's a data coming pre-market on Friday, will help to resolve this range. Remember, anytime we have price coiling in a very tight range like this, you can expect a big move to follow. So whenever this range breaks, whether it be to the downside or upside, we can expect a directional move, at least for a few days from that particular break. So we've been trading within this area for about 3 weeks now. So a lot of time spent. Granted, one of those weeks was the holiday with Thanksgiving, but we have spent a lot of time here within the range. When we take a look at the daily candle, that's an inside day, right? And so part of tomorrow, what we'll be looking for is how the inside day breaks. Generally speaking, when you have an inside day, you want to be trading with the direction of the break. So if we break to the upside, if we break today's high, we'll be looking for that move to continue into that 4600, 4607 area. As far as NQ and QQQ, there was something interesting this morning. Apple, nice trend move, pulling back into that rising 21 MA. This is called a daily buy setup. You have a daily hammer shaped candle here on the rising 21 MA. That is a daily time frame buy setup. Apple resolves higher. Remember, I've talked about this before, but just as a reminder, the weighting of Apple in QQQ and in NQ is quite heavy. And so if Apple is showing a big momentum move on big volume, you probably don't want to be shorting NQ. You probably don't want to be shorting QQQ. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a different story for ES, but as far as tech is concerned, when we look at NQ, very tough to be shorting this with Apple giving the big push. The interesting thing here about QQQ that you want to keep an eye on if you are an NQ trader is this gap right here, this unfilled gap from a few weeks ago. Buyers are going to be attempting to really defend this unfilled gap. We know gaps, when price starts to move into them, that tends to be a volume void, and price can fill that gap very quickly because there's no price history there. So buyers are definitely going to be interested in defending this daily time frame gap, we do also have the confluence of the rising 21 MA right there. So that is adding a bit of extra support, you can call it. Remember, this is just a mathematical calculation. It's not real support, but anytime we have the MA aligned with a real technical level, it can actually add some decent confluence to the trade idea. So QQQ, NQ traders, keep an eye on this 382.5 area, basically Monday's low. You probably want to have some alerts down here in case that does break. It is going to most likely go for the gap fill trade. Besides that, NQ, QQQ, pretty much very similar structure to what we see in ES, price just trading within a near-term range. NQ was quite a bit tighter. It did resolve lower from that tightness, but as far as location, still right here, right? Still trading right here. No real move. So something to keep on watch as well. Prior day low was the main watch in that NQ today as well. Daily bar just shows the inside day. We know what to do with those. So pretty straightforward action in the index. Main theme that we're currently working with is near-term range trading, just trading within a rectangle. Now, as far as individual names, list once again was pretty short, and it's all carryover ideas from ideas we've been monitoring over the past couple of weeks. We have AFRM looking for some continued strength in this one. Daily setup is a little bit better with the pullback we saw today. All of that selling was absolutely absorbed, as you can see there on the daily candle. So AFRM continuation play. SHOP, decent little breakout that we're potentially going to be working here. We do have 4, 5, 6 days of just consolidation. So I want to see some continuation up through 75. Note the volume today, higher than average volume, definitely a good sign. We have Spotify. This one, we looked at it this morning, elected to pass on including it in the list. The main call was to watch that first day volume point of control. Price pretty much held that 194 area, and you get the rally up into 197.5, which again was the call, and then into prior day high. So for tomorrow, what we're going to be looking for is continuation up through 200, buyers in control on this stock. And then we have UPST, inside day, right? We know what to do with the inside day. So pretty explosive move recently in the past couple of days. This is actually a healthy development to have that inside day there. Now just looking for that continuation up through 34.5 to see the next leg higher on that UPST move. So pretty straightforward stuff. Outside of individual names, once again, the index, just to recap, near-term range trading, big daily volume point of control right here, 3 weeks of range. The likelihood that we continue to trade within a range into NFP is quite high. So just something to keep in mind, likely see continued chop into NFP. That's it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow morning in the pre-market prep live stream. Hope everyone had a profitable day. Have a great afternoon.